But I had a friend who lived in Poland, and he told me that life here was great. It's not that expensive. Polish people are great, and it's a great place for Asians. So I was like, okay, why not try it? I value family a lot more, and I respect that you guys can speak honestly about things. And it wasn't until I came to Poland where my channel really exploded, because before Poland, I had maybe 20,000 subscribers, and in 2 years, I got up to 100,000 subscribers. You know, Polish, you guys get a reputation for being racist, but honestly, if you look like somebody else but you speak Polish, you're a Polish person. Because a lot of people, when you tell them about religion, they think of their parents, their Catholic parents, and they're like, I don't want anything to do with religion. But if you live your life in a way that's like, wow, he's an inspiration. What inspired you? God. Jesus inspired me. That's what inspires people.
Cześć, dzień dobry, witaj.
Cześć, witaj.
Mieszkasz, Wes, od prawie 3 lat w Polsce.
Prawie 3 lata.
Po polsku mówisz dobrze?
Okej, tak sobie, tak
Ile języków znasz?
5.
5. Jakie to języki?
Angielski, chiński, hiszpański, Hokkien jest inna wersja z chiński i teraz polski.
Najtrudniejszy to?
Polski.
Oczywiście.
W ogóle się nie dziwimy, ale tym bardziej doceniamy, że przynajmniej próbujesz i naprawdę chcesz się nauczyć tego języka.
Bo uczysz się od 3 lat, ale my nie będziemy ci tego robić, żeby cię najtrudniejszym językiem na świecie tutaj męczyć, więc porozmawiamy po angielsku. Is that okay for you?
Yes, please. Great for me, yes.
Okay. So Wes, you've got channel on the YouTube. What is the name of the
Where's Wes?
Where's Wes?
Gdzie jest Wes?
Okay, so I'm thinking about where Wes been for the whole life, because you were a Chinese
Filipino, tak.
Filipino. You're living in United States,
Yes.
then in Colombia, then in Asia,
yes.
and now in Poland.
Yes.
Why Poland, bro?
Yeah, I know.
Why you love Poland? That you stayed here for
so long.
For so long, yeah.
Well, the reason why I left the U.S. in the first place, because my relationship with my family wasn't that good with my dad.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided to leave. And then I had an opportunity to go to Colombia, so I just went. But then I got stuck because of the pandemic. So that's why I ended up staying there. I didn't plan on staying there for so long, but then I ended up having a restaurant and getting married, and I started a whole life there. But unfortunately, it didn't work out, so I wanted to try other places. And then I went to Asia. And then I couldn't see myself living in Asia. It's a very different culture, big language barrier too, actually, and not a lot of people speak English. But I had a friend who lived in Poland, and he told me that life here was great. It's not that expensive. Polish people are great, and it's a great place for Asians. So I was like, okay, why not try it?
It's not expensive, so I can try it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Why not?
Well, now it's different. It's getting more expensive. But
And how our country, Poland, changed you?
Man, in a lot of ways, I value family a lot more, and I respect that you guys can speak honestly about things. You can speak honestly in relationships. The way that your relationships that you have with your parents are the exact same way that our parents, Asian parents, they treat us. Very hard, strict love. They rarely say that they're proud of us, but they show us love through acts of service, like they'll make food for us, or they really want what's best for us. And I think because the culture is so similar to Asian culture, I felt so comfortable living here. So I was like, I don't really want to go to Western Europe right now. Western Europe's a mess. And Poland is growing very quickly, and the people are very smart. You guys have a very, because education is very valuable here, and a lot of people, you guys są pracowici, tak? So it's like, okay, this is a good place for me to be. And I really just love living here.
You started your channel during the
COVID.
During
pandemic.
the COVID. Why is that? Why you started this channel during this situation? It was like, I was praying and God, please give me some ideas.
So it's because during the pandemic, I didn't have my work with the cruise ship anymore. So I started
because you were a pianist.
I was a pianist, yes. So I was making YouTube videos for fun. But the first 2 years of doing YouTube, I made more money doing music, actually, because I'm a composer, so my music has been on TV and movies, and I get royalties for that. So that for the first 2 years, music made more money, but then after 2 years, YouTube started making more money. And it wasn't until I came to Poland where my channel really exploded because before Poland, I had maybe 20,000 subscribers. And in 2 years, I got up to 100,000 subscribers because I focused on making content here in Poland.
And what are the reaction under your videos?
Yeah.
It's a positive reaction or I don't know, unfollow?
Yeah, sure. I think it's mostly positive because people respect that I speak honestly and I'm not afraid of challenge, right? So if people disagree with me, that's okay. Let's sit and let's talk about it, right? I'm perfectly okay defending my opinion, but I hope you are ready to defend your opinion because, and I think this method of conversation is very important in Poland because Polish as a language is a very expressive language.
Yeah.
Something I notice is when Polish people speak English, you guys tend to ramble a lot. You speak a lot because you're trying to condense how wide Polish is into a simple language like English.
Yeah.
So, but then because Polish is such a big, beautiful language and it's important for your country, communication is very important here. So I noticed that being able to speak honestly and defend your beliefs is valued here. And I think that's why my channel.
Why you think your channel exploded in Poland? It's only because the szczerość, honestly, about.
I think most
or
of it.
Maybe it's about the wide perspective you've got because you've been living in 1, 2, 3, 4 countries.
Naprawdę? Myślę, że bo jestem przystojny. So. Żartuję.
Ludzie doceniają twój humor. Yeah, I know.
No, I think I think it was luck too because videos in Poland were getting really popular starting like 2 or 3 years ago. So I took advantage of the boom. But also because I speak honestly, I don't try to say what Polish people want to hear. And because I'm actively learning the culture and I'm learning the language, I think that makes my channel unique. But obviously I have people that don't like me, especially because maybe sometimes my views may be a little bit more conservative. So in the church, it's okay. But you guys know that when you say anything about the church to the world, they're just like, they call you names or, you're trying to be controlling. So a lot of people don't like me for that, but I have to say.
So what you love about Poland, about us?
People!
About people.
About the Polish people.
How those people change you?
I like that you guys are honest and you guys are loyal. Loyalty,
okay.
yes, loyal, right? Loyal to friends, loyal to family, and loyal to relationships. And I've seen it with my friends that even though they're arguing with their partners, they're still going to cook dinner for their partner or they're still going to do it because loyalty and staying together is the most important thing. I also really respect how you guys treat family and your family values. They're very similar to Latinos actually because they're also a Catholic country like you guys. And because Philippines is also a Catholic country. So that's why I'm like, it's the same. And I even went to a Polish mass one time. And it's interesting because I know all the rituals. I was just doing it in English. And that's why the cultures are very similar. And I really like that because in America, I feel like I can't say some jokes because people are so sensitive, wrażliwi, right? But then here, I can say whatever. And some of the worst jokes, but if it's funny, everybody's laughing, and it's nice to be having that freedom.
Talking about staying together, some time ago, the Łatwo gang,
yes,
or Easy gang, he made an action that he made for cancer fighters.
Yes.
So, do you think that this situation could be in United States, could be done in the United States? Yeah.
I don't think so.
Why is that?
Because in the U.S., we have a more selfish mentality.
Yeah.
And it's a country made of immigrants, so we have no shared culture.
Okay.
So Asians will do what's best for Asians. White people, black people, Arabs, Latinos, they want to do what's best for their group. And there's nothing that really unites us as Americans. Here in Poland, you guys, you can come from Silesia or like Miasto or from Warsaw, but you guys are still Polish.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that, Polish, you guys get a reputation for being racist, but honestly, if you look like somebody else, but you speak Polish, you're a Polish person, right? They treat you normally, And I think it's this shared history and the shared language and culture that unites everybody. And it's very beautiful.
Is it possible to explore our culture without language or without meeting with locals?
I don't think so. I think when you speak multiple languages, you have different personalities in every language. True or
Yeah.
false, right? And I think you can never get to know a Polish person fully until you speak to them in their native language, right? So I know a lot of people, foreigners who have lived here 5-6 years, they love it, but they only stay in miejsce or like in the city center of all the cities, but they don't know what Poland is like. They just they're just like a tourist who has been living here for 5 years.
Yeah.
So I think maybe it's because I'm Asian and our values is to, if we're a guest in the country, we have to respect the host country. So when I was in Colombia, because I learned Spanish, I was able to understand the culture very deeply.
Yeah.
So I knew that if I want to do the same here in Poland, I have to learn the language.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, so what about your relation with God? Because you said that you've got a whole story,
Yeah.
a whole testimony, and you said that 2 months ago you went to the church and something changed.
Yes.
So what about
relationship with
God?
God.
Because
Okay.
it's like you're Asian, Chinese Filipino who lived in United
American.
States,
Yeah.
Colombia. I
Yes.
think you saw a lot of religion. You saw a lot of perspectives.
Yeah.
And why you choose God?
Yes. Because my parents raised me half Buddhist, half Catholic, because my family from the
Okay.
Philippines, right? And but they never forced me to go to church, and I'm very thankful for that because I chose to go to church as an adult, and because when I was playing piano professionally, I played for Catholic churches and Christian churches. Something about the music always just speaks to me, and I think because of how crazy my life is, which if you've seen my videos, like with my ex-wife and what happened in Colombia, and me eventually coming here to Poland, I feel like God has guided all my steps, so it's hard for me not to believe in God. And for some reason, every country that I'm in, I always end up back in the Christian church. And like I said, it's like a calling, I never force it. It's just one moment I'm like, why does life feel so empty? And then I get called again. I'm like, I haven't prayed in a while, actually, so I should pray again. And then when I prayed, I realized like, oh, the answers that I've been looking for, they usually come in prayer. And we try to look for them in the world, but prayer fulfills us in a way that
But it was like 50-50 because you said that you're raised in like Catholic
and Buddhist, yeah.
Okay, so why not Buddhism? Like not
Well, I think you can be both because Buddhism is more of a philosophy, whereas Catholicism or Christianity is more of a religion. And I like having both perspectives because Buddhism is an internal religion. It's like all the problems with the world come from you. So instead of trying to fix the world, fix yourself. And I think that. And by fixing yourself, that's how you change other people, right? And I think in a lot of ways, the story of Jesus is the same. The Son of God came down, and through his example, he inspired billions of people around the world to become Christians or Catholic, right? So I think they come together. But because I grew up in America, I just always felt more connected to Christianity. And it's, to me, because I'm a musician, the music to me is just is the key.
Yeah.
Now, do you want to play for God?
Like
In church or,
yeah.
in other place?
I would actually love to produce music here in Poland. That's one of my long-term goals. I love playing at church, and I don't need to get paid for that because I'm serving God. But I would love to help other artists perform because I feel like because I have a lot of different music tastes and background, and I've been a musician for a very long time, I can add a different flavor to Polish music. Because a lot of modern Polish music is honestly very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Polish Christian music is fantastic. That really
wow.
surprised me. Yeah, like I was shocked when I started hearing it. And I'm like, the chord changes. There's a lot of gospel influence. I
Yes.
was like, wow, this is incredible. And yeah, so.
But I think in Poland, the Christian music is undervalued. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think it's not the same like in the United States. Because,
Yes. Elevation worship.
Yeah,
Hillsong.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah.
Millions of
you
views.
you turning
Everyone.
up turning the television on, and you can see a lot of
Yes.
a lot of Christian music.
Yeah.
And we don't have this in Poland.
Yeah, it's because you guys were a communist country, right? So just like Asia, we were a bunch of communist countries. So we try to conform instead of be stand out, right? Whereas in America, you're rewarded for standing out. So we can be a lot more creative with the music, right? So that's why I think here it is undervalued. But I think it's just Polish people don't really know Christian music yet because most people are Catholic, so they just know the organo and like the hymns and stuff like that. So
Okay, I asked this question in our interview before you, and I'm really curious about this because your channel is like it got like 100 thousands, yeah?
Yeah, 103,000.
103.
Like
okay. So how you sleeping with with thoughts that you've got influence, yeah?
Yes.
At at a lot of people.
I'm not doing this for the fame. I just want to say the truth and just share my perspective, right? So maybe now it feels a little bit more pressure, and I got the plaque now, so I'm really happy. I don't know. That's a tough question. I don't know.
Yeah. Studio Raban is the place with this kind of questions.
It's I think now I have to. I think a lot. YouTube is more of a job now than it is for fun. Sometimes I miss how in the beginning you can make whatever video you want because it was just fun. But now I have to pick videos that I know will do well because I have to make money, right? So I now it's more like a job, which is why I don't want to make music really my job because you need to have a passion and you need to have work. But I think that God gave me this platform because he wants me to tell the truth. So I just have to continue to tell the truth.
Are you telling about Jesus on YouTube?
I used to. When I was in Colombia, there was a time where I did. But I think that's not the right way to talk about religion to people who are not religious. I think the best way to bring people to the faith is to be an example for other people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, when you tell them about religion, they think of their parents, their Catholic parents, and they're like, I don't want anything to do with religion. But if you live your life in a way that's like, wow, he's an inspiration. What inspired you? God. Jesus inspired me. That's what inspires people, you know? So I think I have to be an example. So that's why I'm learning Polish. I'm doing difficult things. I'm traveling the world because I think by being an example to other people, that's how you can actually have influence.
Okay, so Wes, what's your plans about your future? Are you going to stay in our lovely Poland? Or
Yeah, I would love to.
You're gonna leave, I don't know where, maybe to Slovakia. I don't know.
Yeah.
No.
I want to stay in Poland as long as I can. And I would love to have a family here. I can't control the women that come into my life, of course, but I would like to find a wife and I would like to have kids because I think Poland is a great place to raise kids. Yeah, so I would love to stay here.
But Warsaw or Krakow?
Krakow. I think it would be the place.
Why Krakow, bro?
Oh, okay.
It's my city. I born
Yes.
there. Yeah.
Oh, really? Warszawa jest dla pracy, ale Kraków jest dla rodziny.
Oh, wow.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, I think it's the culture, right? Like, because I grew up in a big city too. I think big cities are not good for families. They're not good for kids. And all the people that I talk to, all the Polish people I talk to, who had the best childhoods, grew up in a small town with a united family, with friends that they knew since they were like 5. And that's what I want for my kids too.
And that's true. When I was living in Krakow, I've got a lot of time to build my relationship with people. And now in Warsaw, everybody's
busy.
Or maybe in the work or in a vacation, on a vacation. So
yes, exactly, right.
So I've got no time.
Yes, and I was actually thinking about returning to Krakow until I found this church. Because for me, I had a community in Krakow. And that's what I was missing here in Warsaw. Because like you said, you want to make friends, but everybody's trying to make it. And then you guys have this term for like swojki.
Swojki, yeah.
Yeah, right? Swojki. And it's not really a bad thing.
Wszyscy jesteśmy słoikami.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people move here because they want to climb and they want to be successful. So career is more important than relationships. But thankfully at the church, it's a good environment for kids. It's an environment that supports marriage instead of tells you just to break up, because divorce in the big city as well is very common, right? So I was thinking about going back to Krakow, but because of this church and I see that this community is really amazing and strong, I might stay in Warsaw, but we'll see.
Wesley, thank you for being here. Thank you for your perspective.
And we wish you a lot of luck.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dziękuję.
See you.
Yes.